Yeah, so hip hop.
It's a humble.
Hip hop has always gotten a bad rap.
Yeah.
It's always getting a bad rap in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And a lot of
Hip hop is always getting a bad rap.
a lot of things a lot of things have happened in the past week.
Yeah.
Following the Recross concerts.
Yeah.
Do you think Nigerian hip hop has struggled?
You could say that, yes. You could. It's so early 2000s was creating all the hits, right? Mid 2000s, you saw Drugged Man hits as well, Freestyle, all these guys have it. Late 2000s, hits as well. Ycee, they came into the era where phyno was also having his own hits. And Olamide obviously, and Reminisce obviously. And MI, even to the middle, and even Ycee a little bit later as well. Yes, the hip hop, it's a dicey situation. It's a dicey situation in the sense that we can say a key element of hip hop culture is rap music. Can we say hip hop is struggling? Can we then say hip hop is struggling if one of the biggest Nigerian artists for a lot of people who was going to be the artist of the decade was a rapper, and that's Olamide? Do you understand? And if an Ice Prince is winning BET Best International Act for Africa, if Olamide was possibly, Wizkid is who winning, I think Wizkid was artist of the decade. But if someone were to come and say Olamide was the artist of the decade, you can argue that. Do you understand? One of the biggest albums of that Olamide won 3 album of the year gongs at the Headies during that decade. Easy. Do you understand? Ice Prince was out of here. phyno had one of the biggest albums of that era. Reminisce was producing hits upon hits, and it was even the record like Pomele. So can we then say it's struggling? Because also by 2019, we saw Zlatan and Naira Marley, who are also rappers. Naira Marley was the hottest in this country in 2019. So can we then say categorically that it's struggling? No, we can't. It's just a thing of nuance. So the problem is what people deem to be rap music or hip hop. Bro, Mafia is one of the best rap songs to have come out in the history of this country. You know why? What is rap music? We said it on the last episode. Rap music is just rhythm and poetry delivered in a recognizable flow scheme with rhymes and bars. That's what it is. That's all it is. So if Mafia was a record that had storytelling, socio-political chatter, bro, Mafia is about the Jackpot story, basically. That's what it is. And Nigerians that are coming back home. So can you categorically open your mouth and say it's not a rap record? The reason why a lot of people when they think rappers, they don't think about these guys. They think about niggas that look very American, that speak all the phone and all the bars and all. Those ones are rappers, yes. Them AQ's best rapper in Africa for me right now, because his last couple of albums have proved that. But when people think of rappers, they're only going to think of AQ. They're not going to think of Naira Marley. But even AQ is thriving. If AQ is getting Afriman nominations, AQ got 2 Afriman nominations last year. So can we say he's really struggling? Maybe not. It's just that there's a faction of rappers that are not as popular as they could be, because the music they're making is not very mainstream. And do you know why? Every part of the world that you look at, the long and short stories, it's very simple. Pop is the biggest thing. Pop music. People want to dance, people want to flex. One of the reasons why Afrobeats is popular right now is because it's pop music. Everybody wants to enjoy. Now, right now, even though hip hop and R&B are the biggest thing in America right now, the only reason why they are that is because of trap music, which is a pop version of rap music. Do you understand? Because it's watered down, it's more enjoyable. People are talking about life, commercial, in the videos, people are living life, they're all iced out and all, right? So everywhere you look at, these guys are this faction of rappers. They are just the ones that are not as mainstream. So when people want to say hip hop is not thriving, it's because of those guys. But could those guys also be thriving? They could be. They could be in a better system, in a system that is also designed to favor them. That's it.
All right. So why does it seem like hardcore rappers or rappers who do pure hip-hop struggle as against the Olamides and the Marleys?
Yeah, I was talking about it. So I talked about it on a thread on that day that the Ycee situation was happening. It's very simple. I also said it on the last question you asked. Pop, like versions of pop, bro. Versions of pop, bro. Shout out to Osage Alonge. Osage Alonge tells me something simple. He says, turn off. If you watch the video for Ghetto Love, Wizkid, where Wizkid was walking in, turn down the volume and watch the video. What does it look like? It looks like a rapper. Bro, it looks like a rapper. If you turn down some of these Afrobeats videos and like turn down the volume and just watch them, they look like the rappers. Like what rappers used to be, because they're the ones that dress the way, they're the ones that dress the part, they're the ones that have all the girls, they're the ones that have all the money, they're the ones that have the crews. So people are going to gravitate towards them more because they are culture. Rappers are clean. Our rappers are clean cuts and deep. A lot of Nigerians are not deep. They are not that smart for them to be able to. Can't you see what nostalgia? Did you see the nostalgia stuff that was trending by Dissect on Kendrick? Kendrick verse, where was rhyming words? I will show you after this thing. Nigerians can't even understand words. They don't even listen to Kendrick. Less they don't understand that. So that's the problem. People like Olamide and Amalis, Latan, Reminisce, they are going to thrive more because they make pop music. And that's number one. They make pop music. The music is made on pop. Look at the history of Nigerian music. Rappers that have taken it to the top. Common denominators, one. They make pop music that people can dance to. The language is easy to understand. The language is very important. I said it on the last episode that Rugged Man that started rapping in Pidgin, he said, Paul Play told him, he rapped about it on Little One. People should go listen. He said, Paul Play, at the hand and let me know, blah, blah, blah. He said, Paul Play told him, nigga, rap in your mother tongue. If you rap in your mother tongue or in Pidgin, you're going to be big. So it's these factors coming together. So if you're rapping in English, yes, it's cool. But the moment someone is rapping in Yoruba and can say the same thing. The reason why Daglin was the biggest in this country was because it sounded like 50 cents while rapping in Yoruba. Simple.
But what's your take on the whole Recross event and the whole things that were dropping after?
It's very simple. I can understand the plight of the rappers, right? I can get it. Because at least maybe just have one rapper on the bill, right? At least just one. I also understand why people were going as Emma and Baga. But the overall point of what he was saying should not be lost in conversation. I mean, it did center the conversation around himself, which was a little narcissistic. But the overall point of what he was saying should not be lost. But at the same time, the people that organize the shows, it's their first show. So if they make mistakes, you have to forgive them. They'll do things better the next time. That's true. Number 3, the shows are put together to make money. The shows are put together to make money. Now, people are saying that, oh, maybe some rappers, maybe Ladipo, Naira Marley, Black Bones could have been put there. Maybe. But how about you look at it this way? What if they couldn't even get those guys? It's very possible that they couldn't get those guys on board. It's very possible that the guys they got on board were the guys that they feel could thrill their audience. Maybe they did a survey. Maybe the guys that were there were the guys that they feel could thrill our audience. Let's whet the appetite before. There's a reason why they supported Recross with Davido. Because Recross, as big as a rapper as he is, he's not big enough to thrill Nigeria for 3 hours or 4 hours. Nigerians don't know his music that much. Me, I do, but I'm an outlier, right? There's a reason why Davido was aside from the fact that he had to perform on other shows, so he couldn't really close out that show, Davido supported him because of obvious reasons. So pop music, Afrobeats is a thing now, so you have to understand why those guys opted for Afrobeats artists. But could they have put maybe Naira Marley? What if they couldn't afford Naira Marley? Do you know how much Naira Marley is charging per show now? Naira Marley is charging mad money. Zlatan is charging mad money. What if they couldn't afford those guys? You are talking about Ladipo, yes. How many records is Ladipo going to perform? Maybe 3 or 4. But would it have been appropriate for them to have a rapper on the bill? At least one? Yes. They could have. But if they had packed that thing with rappers, like I feel like that's what rappers want. They want that the opening acts to all of them to be rappers. It can't be. Because how many brands are going to jump on it? Because shows primarily, the money that show promoters make primarily doesn't come from ticketing. Most of these tickets go out for free anyway, and partnerships. The money comes from brand deals. So do you really expect these guys to forfeit the brand money because of you want to push rap culture? No. There's a whole lot of things that rap needs to go through. That's what I feel. That's how I feel. And it's even a fact, it's not what I feel.
Alright, so Forza tweeted about responses to Adi and asked if hip-hop is dead. What's your take on this?
I love that tweet. First as first, hip-hop is not dead. I spoke about it. Hip-hop is not struggling. It's just your bias and what you think is a rapper. That's why you think hip-hop. That's why a lot of people think hip-hop is struggling. It's just that a lot of people also need to stop piling on rappers. Especially the hardcore rappers, quote and unquote. They need to stop piling on them. They can't change. I used to do that as well. Like, change. Don't start making pop music or stop complaining. Bro, that's who they are. But it's just that if you have made the decision to make that type of music, don't complain when your market is not big enough. Do you understand? Because your market is never going to be that big. People just should stop piling on them and piling on them like they are the problem. Because at the end of the day, as much as that's the role of rappers, the rappers can also adapt their music to fit a particular audience, to fit like the larger audience. Maybe make music that is more relatable, in more relatable language, on more danceable beats, right? The bigger problem here is that corporations are also not supporting Nigerian hip hop. They're not. Okay, Adi is a drill artist. One of the best drill records I've heard in any part of the world is, you know the Vibe by King Perry and Psycho YP. Bro, that record, how many playlists did he get? Corporations need to support these guys. One of the biggest drill projects, one of the best drill projects I've heard in my life was made by a guy, an Abuja guy called Mazi Codex. It was released last year. He made drill in Pidgin. How many people supported it? How many people supported it with playlist domination and said, okay, we are going to push our drill records? Because if we don't support these guys, how are you going to listen to it? The only reason why you are going to listen to Adi is because Adi is signed to a major, and the music is pushed in your face. So how do you expect Adi not to have bigger reception than a random Nigerian artist who has nobody to support him? Do you see how it's not fair? So if corporations will support these guys and put support behind them, it's not going anywhere. Black Sheriff is signed to Empire. Black Sheriff is signed to Empire. His music is great, but he's signed to Empire. So niggas need to stop piling on rappers for no just reason. DSPs, label services companies, majors, they need to support Nigerian hip hop more, or just stop piling on them. SK made a whole drill record drill EP last year. How many people supported it? How many playlists did you see? People just want to pile on rappers for no reason. Corporations need to support them more. If corporations don't support them, don't expect them to be as big as Hardy. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Like you said, pop music has been getting a couple of attention.
Yeah.
Has been getting a lot of attention on the global scene.
Yeah.
How do you think our rappers can benefit from this?
A lot of these trap and drill boys, a lot of them, and a lot of rappers that are going to be Afrobeats artists when they're going to the world. Maybe like Olamide, for example. Carpe Diem. He was rapping, but it's that's what he does now. Fantastic. I love it. Right? So a rapper like that can go because it's watered down, it's pop-esque, it's song rap, and it could go anywhere. Black Sheriff from Ghana, obviously. The trap and drill boys, they can easily export them. There's a boy called Mason 2500. It's ridiculous. So the trap and drill boys, because their talent is easily exportable. The music can be foreign. So maybe you are looking at a situation like J Balvin and Bad Bunny for some of these guys, if they are ready to do it. It's not impossible. They are basically the channel for Nigerian rap music to go global. But don't be surprised if you see like maybe some hardcore rapper get a massive feature and blows out of here because of TikTok, or a major label decides to put money behind the record, whatever. You never know, bro. So yes, that's what I feel. So Skepta is one of the greatest British rappers of all time. He's the greatest English rappers of all time. Very influential in the grime culture. So if a lot of people are going to look at some of the greatest rappers, obvious names, Wiley, Dizzy Rascal, Skepta, obviously, his name is going to come up in that. Greatest rappers of all time. Looking at someone like Reg 32, all these other guys, right? So his name is going to come there because he, number one, huge personality. Number two, very calm, great energy. Number three, he also speaks the language of the street, so he has a lot of street cred, right? So his ability to make music of that level, of that nature, and music that appeals to the streets, so is the guy that you're probably going to call a hardcore rapper, or he used to be a hardcore rapper. So shout out to him. His legacy is sealed. You can't, even though I'm not a fan, I don't have to be a fan for me to recognize that there's a legacy here, and it's one of the greatest of all time in England. That's it.
Right, but would you see Skepta feature for Olamide as an opportunity?
No, it's not. It's not. I saw that. Shout out to Young who addressed that first. And Skepta started trending, if I'm not wrong. It's the idea that it's an opportunity is very. It's crested on the idea that because Skepta is a British rapper, all of a sudden it's going to make Olamide huge. Skepta is not Drake. No offense, but it's not Drake. Skepta doesn't even have it doesn't have a number one album in the UK, on the UK charts. It doesn't have a number one album. Until 2016, Konnichiwa was his most successful album. Konnichiwa, and that was 2016. And the last album that he dropped with Chip and these other guys, and Young Ads, not the most successful, but it wasn't bad. The numbers were not bad, but you can't compare it to Dave's numbers or Stormzy's numbers, obviously. So, and comparatively, his audience primarily, I mean, he has gone bigger now. He's an Afrobeats now. He has an Afrobeats fan base now due to his Wizkid connections and some of the other records he's done. And he's done records with Kid Cudi, was on Kid Cudi's album. He had a massive hit with A$AP Rocky, even though it wasn't huge on the Billboard charts. The record was, I've seen the numbers on YouTube, mad. Like that record I was on testing, ridiculous numbers. But at no point was he, even though he was nominated for awards because of the quality of Konnichiwa and critical acclaim. I'm not a fan of the album, but it was critically acclaimed and had healthy numbers. But there was no time where he was the number one artist in England, none. Never happened, never been close. But comparatively, as Olamide being number one artist in Nigeria at different points, yes. From between 2010 and 2019, let's look at the time that Olamide was number one artist in Nigeria. If Africa had an award, a major music award, Olamide would have been nominated for Artist of the Year almost every other year between 2010 and 2019, even 2020, right? Let's say 2010 was maybe the Two-Face's year. 2011 was Wizkid. 2012 was Olamide. 2013 was Olamide. 2014 Olamide and Phyno. 2014 was David. 2015 was Olamide. 2016 was Tekno and Runtown. Kiss Daniel was also at 2014 in a way. 2017 was Davido. 2018 was Burna. 2019 was Naramani. So that's 3 years. So we're talking someone who is not just a big rapper, someone who is one of the biggest artists from a continent. So if you are then saying, he's not Ed Sheeran, he's not Adele, he's not even Stormzy, who can single-handedly elevate someone into like pop era type, into like white spaces. He's not that guy. It's no slight to his greatness. His greatness is still because of his ability as a rapper and his consistency over the years and his street cred because he's a fantastic rapper. But in terms, can he single-handedly elevate Olamide commercial success in the UK? Probably not. I mean, it could get him some. It's not that it's not good. He might crack the top 40, right? But can he get him a number one hit off the bat, like Stormzy and Own It, Burna Boy, or like Dave and Location, out of here, right? It's probably not going to happen. So the idea that it's an opportunity rubs me the wrong way because he's not that big commercially. That's just true. That's it.
If you're a cultural figure, does it mean that you have a powerful cosign?
It does mean that you could have a powerful cosign, but it depends on the audience you are cosigning for. Ycee has a powerful cosign, so if it features on, Ycee is one of the biggest Nigerian artists, but if it features on a lot of rappers will want him on their records because the cosign is for the hip hop community. You understand? So the cosign depends on the audience. You can be powerful to an audience, but are you powerful to the mainstream audience? Like Drake and Wiz. Can you single-handedly make an Olamide record go gold or platinum in the US or the UK? Probably not. Maybe over time. Can you make it go gold within a year or go platinum within 6 months? Probably not. You are not Stormzy. A lot of people are comparing that to Drake and... Bro, Drake was the number one artist at the point when he was on Wizkid's record. He was possibly the number one artist in the world. Or at least number one streaming artist. So don't compare. It's not the same. It's not the same.
But people point to chart success. How do Skepta and Olamide compare?
So the problem with Nigeria is that we didn't have a charting system throughout the 2010s. We had a veritable charting system. Most of the music were consumed through bootlegging sites and piracy. So where's the chart to track? But if you were to say if someone was a big commercial success, like iTest, let's use iTest. Was Olamide possibly the biggest Nigerian artist of the 2010s in Nigeria? Was he?
Possibly.
Exactly. That's it.
How about awards?
I spoke about awards the other time. I think that those ones it depends. Awards are not exactly crested on commercial success sometimes. Sometimes it can be about quality. For example, if you're talking about the Brit Awards, or maybe you're talking about, there's another award. Some awards are not crested on commercial success. It's just sometimes about quality. Look at the person that won album of the year this year, John Baptiste. Bro, at the Grammy, so bro, that's it.
Is this similar to the Wizkid and Drake?
No, it's not. It's really not. And that's factual.